What are Elixir fragrances and why are they taking over in 2025? All right, guys, so in this video, we're talking about, if you notice in the fragrance industry, many Elixir fragrances are starting to become the name of the game. Every designer brand and even Middle Eastern brand are starting to drop their own Elixir fragrance concentration of their top scents. We're going to go into what an Elixir fragrance is in this video and also why they're making a strong case and headway as far as fragrance industry is concerned. All right, let's get right into it. Number one, first and foremost thing we have to do is we have to establish by definition what is an elixir fragrance, okay? In simplest terms, a elixir fragrance is a heightened or beefed up version of your favorite scent, right? So whether the designer or niche realm, whether it's the Middle Eastern realm, right? At the end of the day, when you think of your favorite flanker from an established brand, an elixir is just nothing more than a heightened version of that fragrance. So for example, we have Rasasi Havas Elixir, we have Afna 9 p.m. Elixir here that just released, and then we also have Le Mans Elixir as some of the three of the top elixir fragrances I've got in my hands. When you think about an elixir fragrance, you think of three main things. You think of a higher concentration. When we think of higher concentration, that's gonna mean more oil concentration in the fragrance and less alcohol, which is going to lead to stronger scent molecules. All right, second thing, you're gonna have a fuller, denser formulation of the fragrance. When we say fuller, denser concentration, we just mean that you can feel the fragrance in the air, you can smell in the air a little bit longer, you definitely can notice its presence a little bit easier, as opposed to one of the complaints amongst many fragrance collectors with designer fragrances and even some Middle Easterns is that a lot of the fragrances that have been released in recent years have been a little bit more faint. People are experiencing what is called flaker fatigue, right? With an elixir fragrance, you're definitely getting a more thicker, richer, more textured version of your favorite fragrances. Third thing is with these elixir fragrances, they're gonna bring more depth and a longer dry down, okay? So in other words, they're gonna stick throughout the night, especially when you think about elixir fragrances like these ones I just talked about. These ones are usually gonna be more sweeter, aromatic, a little bit more gourmand, which means you're gonna wear them at nighttime and they're gonna stick throughout the night. And then they're also gonna evolve slower. So I always look at elixir fragrances since I've gotten my nose on them. They evolve more like a story rather than a sentence, right? It takes a little bit longer for those notes to settle in and for it to change and for it to kind of evolve its characteristics. So it gives a little bit more mystery to the fragrance as far as that is concerned. And so those are some of the key reasons why elixir fragrances are really starting to become popularized. This is different than a lot of the established flankers out on. An elixir fragrance really kind of does bring a different experience because of the slow burn that elixirs bring, right? Versus a designer fragrance, a designer flanker kind of has this established note. You kind of get what you're getting out of it within the first few minutes. In elixir fragrance, you really have to kind of wait, be patient, and you kind of have to let the story unfold as far as elixirs are concerned, which actually creates a level of intrigue. Everyone wants them kind of boils down to three key points. Number one is the longevity. I'm tired of spraying on something that evolves and it dissipates by lunchtime, right? They don't have a level of richness, right? A lot of people complain about these modern fragrances being lacking in depth, being lacking in formulation, kind of been reformulated. You hear that word reformulated, means they took the original DNA and they kind of have altered it to where it doesn't last as long, which then means you have to buy it more frequently, right? It makes these companies more profits, right? But at the end of the day, you the consumer, you the person who's buying it, are not satisfied with the lack of performance. Second thing, right, especially with the fragrances that I just named, right, they're better performance in the winter. So when you think about winter, and I talked about this before, you're usually wearing sweeter, more gourmand fragrances, and those gourmand fragrances really don't last the best because of the conditions that they're in. Well, with these elixir fragrances being a little bit more rich as far as the scent breakdown and the scent molecules, they perform better in those winter months, which means you get more bang for your buck and more performance and more longevity, more presence with your fragrance, and that touches all bases that every fragrance wearer, every fragrance enthusiast really wants. Last thing is that elixir fragrances in many regards give you a luxury feel without having to pay for niche prices. So brands have figured out that people want something that feels niche, but you know, they want that heavy, complex, that premium feel without having to spend $350 for Parfums de Marly, without having to spend $400 for an MFK. So with these elixir fragrances, they're giving you that sweet spot. Most elixirs, in fact, all elixirs have been dropping from most of these established designer brands, and as well as some of these top Middle Eastern brands, your Yves Saint Laurents, your Dior's, and then you have have also JPG as far as designer realm, and you also have Afnan, you have Duman as far as the Middle Eastern more affordable brands are concerned. Now, some of the top brands that have dropped the Elixir fragrances, YSL dropped their Elixir. I've tried that. I have that in the collection, but it's in the closet. That one's really good. It's nice if you like a blue fragrance, right? Then we have this one here, JPG Le Mans Elixir, right? This one gives this vanilla woods. It's got beautiful performance, and they added the scent of honey in here. They really took the original Le Mans DNA, added it, matured it, grown up, and it actually was an improvement of even Le Mans Le Parfum, which is one of my favorites, okay? Another one, JPG, Paco Rabanne Phantom has dropped their own Elixir as well. That one has done really well. This one right here, Afnan 9 p.m. Elixir, just recently dropped. This one's already kicked the original 9 p.m. from when I've had women tried it. It's really got that monstrosity as far as performance, as far as longevity. This one smells sweet, but then it also has a good level of masculine richness to it as well. And lastly, you have Havas Elixir. So this one takes this one and makes it even more affordable, right? So when we talk about affordable luxury, this one definitely hits the ball out of the park, and it's great scent, great value, doesn't smell overly formulated or even synthetic as far as that's concerned. Now, having established all these things, here's my take on Elixir fragrances, right? Should you wear them or not? And I love Elixir fragrances because I love that richness that they give. I love the longevity that they give. Even if there's nothing more than just something novel to the fragrance industry, definitely I really like what all these brands have been establishing with their Elixir fragrances. I love trying them. I have 4 here at the desk with me, and then I have 1 in the closet, and I have 1 I'm getting my hands on. Every Elixir fragrance I've had thus far has been a slam dunk home run, you know, slam dunk, hit it out of the park home run as far as that is concerned. So I do think I definitely put my stamp of approval amongst Elixir fragrances. I'm waiting to see what YSL Lanerie de l'Homme does, if they drop one, if Chanel will drop one. Right, so definitely there's a level of intrigue for you. Wear them for the evening, day, night, colder months. Those are the time, place that you'll be wearing them for. And then situations where you really want to leave a lasting impression. And don't overspray them unless you're trying to get written up at work. You know what I'm saying? These are definitely fragrances that you don't need too much, right? A little can go a long way for you, but definitely I put my stamp of approval. And that's it, guys. That is Elixir fragrances explained. Again, really loving what they're doing with the Elixir fragrances in the fragrance industry. Have all types of elixirs here that I'm getting, that I have, and that I'm getting my hands on as well. So definitely they're the new trend, the new kid on the block, but definitely I'm loving all the ones that are being dropped. What you guys think? Let me know what is your favorite elixir down in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe and the follow button so you get notified anytime I drop any new fragrance content, guys. Let me know what other videos you want me to do and I'll get them done for you. Follow me on Instagram as well as on TikTok and engage with me there. As always, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good day. Much love.